We're live.
We are live. We are absolutely live. And Kevin is early.
Yes.
Man, I'm not on the road this week. I had nothing to do today but lounge and chill and just hang out like a normal human being.
That's good.
Kevin
Yeah,
got 59. That's early. That's fucking early.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was in actually earlier than that call, but I logged in. I saw you were doing something, so I moved around and did a few things. Yeah, I heard Tiffany come in, then I jumped on.
It was 6.
Uh-huh.
Tiffany, how are you?
It's everything is improving. She's a pusher and she's getting out of here. She's pushing on her walker, but she has to have a wheelchair behind her. But she's doing her thing. She's very determined. So I'm very happy. I just came from seeing her. Love you, Mom.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Saw some good news.
Mm-hmm.
You, Kev, you made Florida safe. No,
Made
Mag.
it home. Made it safe, man. Heading
Good.
back to Florida, though. Heading back to Florida. So,
You're headed.
yeah, heading back. And they got
You
a
going back to
hurricane.
the deep south? You love some deep south.
Hey,
That's
I
where the
don't love
money at, huh?
that's where most of the comedy clubs are. I'm a comedy club headliner, and that's where the majority of comedy clubs are in the southern states, believe it or not. So, and I guess because of the warm weather and everything, but yeah, that's what that's what from all the way from the Carolinas down to Florida, man, that's the money. And then out the West Coast circuit, it's also bumping.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
Tiffany,
yeah,
when you do comedy, it's an act. You have to pretend. They pretend they like us, and we pretend we like them. And that's the relationship we
yeah,
Well,
it's a good relationship.
I would do
really.
good.
I mean, honestly, I know Kev feel the same way. Like these people are the people you perform for. I actually did a show last night. And
Oh, how was that?
so it went great. But I mean, the white people I met are so, and like, these are the MAGA people, though. You know,
Yes,
they are
yes.
so. You would never think that they feel the way they feel.
No, you wouldn't, man. 'Cause,
You
I
know
mean,
why? Because
Carl.
yeah.
Well, I know you. I think, yeah, I know. I can't put my finger on it, Carl or Tiff, but I think I guess we're jesters and we're here to entertain them.
I was
Love,
about to say y'all entertainers to them, so they're not thinking about politics. But as soon as you say something too black, too strong, they will let you know. We are MAGA.
Uh,
yeah,
all right, so today we have another hot show for you guys. Obviously, I got a bunch of videos from Kev, and also thank you to all the people who've been sending me videos, and thanks to Pamela, and I don't remember all the people, but all the people who send videos, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
It and Patricia, thank you also for sending me all the videos. I go through all of them and I try to get everything in and try to pick the best ones. So I just want to say thank you. But today, obviously, we all have seen the videos where MAGA are not going to HBCUs, and but they're going just to debate to continue the Charlie Kirk debate. Obviously, we know they're just going to start some shit. That's all they're trying to do. They want to get us riled up. So once black people respond in a violent way, they can go, see, we can't really talk to these people that are violent. So MAGA went down to Tennessee, I think. Was it the Tennessee?
Yes, it
I
was
believe it's Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yes,
So MAGA went down to Tennessee. Kind of like the devil went down to Georgia. Tiffany would know that song. That's
Yeah, the devil went to they went to Tennessee and it wasn't too nice. Them young people screamed they behind straight out of the spot, But listen, why are they there? Who told them to come? That should be the question. How did they get on the premises to even set up shop in a black school? That's dangerous. As soon as I see white people, I'm running.
yeah. Also, Asada Shakur, if you don't know who
I
Asada
said I got to up and button.
is,
Oh, I love you.
a former member of the Black Panther movement and was accused of murdering a police officer back, I don't know the year, but in New Jersey. And
In
claimed
it
that
was the 70s, I believe, right? Isn't it Kev about the 70s or something like that?
definitely the '70s. Yes,
um, they had her
Chef,
in
Chef. Yeah, she also has somebody very famous in her family. We should mention.
Ooh,
Oh
two.
well, Tupac
Yes,
Shakur was
Tupac. Yeah,
actually that was her nephew, like her
yes,
nephew,
yeah, her nephew. Yeah,
godmother type thing. Yeah.
yes. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys seen the video of Serena Williams was at a hotel and they had a cotton plant as decoration, and she. I see that video.
I didn't see it, Carl.
Yeah,
Yes, I saw it, and I get how she feel. I didn't like it at all either.
yeah. Well, she wasn't happy, but a lot of people in her comments were saying, "Well, look at you. You got blonde hair and you
Word, they went in on her. See,
got a
she should
white
have did
husband."
it with an afro. She should have did it with an afro. That's what she should have did it with. You don't be going up there trying to criticize some cotton, sitting up in there in a five-star hotel owned by the slave masters.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They put cotton up.
You sleeping next to the master and you got blonde hair and you're complaining about cotton. Pretty much is what the comments.
Yeah, you should
Uh,
have put an afro on, girl.
also, there's a video also of a black granny that was at a YMCA in Boston, and apparently they have a free class for exercising, I guess, for the older folks. And it's first come, first serve. You get there early, you pull up a chair and you sit wherever. There's no designated seating, so this black granny pulled up her chair, sat down. Then this white lady came in after her and asked her to leave, to move, and actually move her chair.
Yeah,
She
because that was her seat.
right. She said, "No, I'm not moving. Go find another seat." Of course, the police were called, and you know how that goes.
They removed the black granny's ass. That's what they did.
Uh,
Damn.
that um, and also I told Tiffany I wanted to touch on this one. This was kind of last minute. Tyra Spalding, she was contestant for Miss Jamaica back probably, I don't know if it was last year or this year, but she unalived herself and she pretty much documented how she was feeling, and she actually went through with her unaliving of herself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So just trigger warning, we're going to be touching on a bit on suicide later in the show, so if you're not
And mental health awareness.
health, because she was really fighting, you know, when I show the videos you can see her, she's fighting. And also Rudy Johnson, I don't follow football, but Kevin told me a 45-year-old former NFL player, Rudy Johnson, unalived himself. Some people say he committed suicide because the brain damage from football, but some people are
Yeah, that CTI is serious or something. That's what it's called, right? CTI or CTE or something that
yeah,
Yes.
goes on with the brain when they are football players. And you know the black guy, I think that he was black and Asian that went into Manhattan, went to the NFL building. They finally told us about his autopsy. He had the disease from playing football. So y'all men that's in football, y'all need to go check your heads out. Okay? Immediately.
yeah. Um, so hey Donna, Donna's checking in. Oh, to everyone watching us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Donna Scooby's checking in. Scooby checks in early, like the day before, or like morning. What's up?
Hmm.
Mama Lee's in the house. Gina,
Hey.
highly favored, is in the house. They're all checking in. Other people are watching, but haven't said anything. Gina, I have to call you. I see you are dealing with some stuff, so I will have to give you a call. I meant to, but I will. So you know, hopefully early next week. John Boy is also checking in on YouTube. John Boyce had his mom unalived herself 2.5 years ago, and his heart still hurts. Hear that, brother. But
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
all had those thoughts, and I would put myself in that category, but we will touch on that later. The title, I titled the show like, despite everything that's happening to black people, and I always amazed that black people get up every day, put a smile on our face, and just go through life in America every day, and every day it's a fight. But still, we get up every day and just go do it. And we know we got to repeat it again the next day. And we do it with a smile. So that's why I said today's show is still we rise, and we will continue. And there's nothing they can do to stop us. And Black people now also getting involved with figure skating more than before, And of course, I have a video where, of course, we're going to bring the acrobatics to it and all the fancy stuff, which is why.
I know Black people finger skate. We know that.
Yeah, but well, they don't mind one or two, but when it gets to be, I mean, when we start to dominate, then
that becomes a problem. Yeah, well,
the problem.
Yes.
We start adding stuff to it. There was no alley-oop when all white men were playing basketball. Was there, Kevin?
No, white men can't jump.
Now they copying us and studying us so they can jump.
Yeah. So anyway, Tiffany, you want to do me the honors and give the rules and regulations of the show, please?
First, we want to say welcome and thank you again for chiming in with us. This is protected by fair use only, educational purposes only, entertainment purposes only. We do not own the rights to the music or to the content. We're just using it because we're learning from it. Also, our opinions is our opinions only. Everything is alleged because we don't know until we got evidence. Okay, so make sure you like and subscribe and share, leave a comment, and let us know what you think.
All right, so we're going to kick the show off with these mega groups at the HBCU colleges. Why they're there? Well, we know why they're there.
Yes.
We didn't know that TSU was an HBCU until the night before. He didn't know.
Why do white people just lie for no fucking reason? You got your ass on TV to perpetuate a lie saying you didn't know TSU was an HBCU, even though TSU been open as an HBCU in Tennessee since 1912. That's longer than some of your nastiest ancestors who taught you from the inception to be a racist. Y'all want to be Charlie Kirk so bad, but y'all don't want to end up like Charlie Kirk. Y'all had to stand up because the fucking audacity that y'all thought y'all was gonna bring y'all privileged ass onto an HBCU campus and we weren't gonna stand on motherfucking business. Why do you think we go so hard for HBCUs? Because our fucking ancestors built it, brick by brick, brain cell by brain cell, hand by hand, collaboration by collaboration, partnership by partnership, without the help of the privilege. Because y'all thought that it was a bright idea to try to keep us out when we built our own fucking legacy through HBCUs. As a proud two-time HBCU graduate, one from Southern University and my law degree from Thurgood Marshall School of Law, I stand on all 10 motherfucking toes behind what the students at TSU did. And I know our ancestors is even more proud because they're looking down saying, yep, we built that, and they gonna protect it. So take your dusty, unseasoned, uncleaned, unsaved ass back to your regular ass PWI.
Can't even hear you. Very saved, very black, and very tired of this.
Make this very clear to any one of you that bring your ass onto another HBCU campus. You may get a different fucking result because we don't play that shit any day of the week. So find something safe to do. Stay at them damn PWIs. Leave our fucking HBCUs alone.
Say this shit for every white boy that is trying to emulate Charlie Kirk and y'all bring y'all asses in black spaces, stay the fuck away from us. We created HBCUs for the safety of black children. We don't need y'all going on our campuses trying to have a debate using your racist ideology. You literally put on fucking posters that, hey, immigrants should be deported and debate us and shit. Do you know black kids are immigrants, right? Do you know a lot of them are Haitian and Jamaican and Nigerian? And y'all came on that campus to antagonize black students, especially after everything that happened with Charlie Kirk. And our campuses, I'm speaking as an HBCU alumni, our campuses being called for bomb threats and nooses being left on our fucking campuses when we have shit to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk, because that was in a fucking white ass state, a conservative state, and that happened to be a white boy that attacked him. And y'all think y'all gonna follow in his footsteps and bring y'all asses to our campuses and our churches? Don't get messed up. We didn't ask for y'all, we didn't send for y'all. If we wanted to have a fucking debate, we would invite y'all. But y'all are not welcome in our spaces, especially the spaces that are supposed to be at peace for us. A space that is supposed to be safe for us.
Charlie Kirk being killed, HBCUs were targeted with bomb threats. Now, a MAGA hate group decides to go to Tennessee State University. They call themselves the Freedom Tour. And what they do, they go Fearless Tour, I'm sorry. They were not authorized to be on campus at all. Tennessee State University released a statement. This is what they, even though I'm a graduate, if I decided to roll up at Texas A&M, set up a table in front of the Memorial Student Center, and I have language that probably white students there would disagree with, don't you know I'm going to be approached and told, I'm sorry, who are you? Are you authorized to be here? These individuals were not authorized. So why do they do this? To get exactly what they got. Their whole goal was to go viral. Their whole goal was to say, oh, look at these folks. They're protesting MAGA. This is ridiculous. And they've been on social media trashing HBCUs, talking about graduation rates, all those things. That's what their goal is. And so let me be real clear. You're going to see this happen again. Because, see, these right-wing influencers, okay, what they're going to do is, in the mold of Charlie Kirk, they are going to target other HBCUs. I'm telling you right here. And so what do? Let's target them. So what we need to understand, HBCU students, faculty, and staff need to understand this is going to happen again. I guarantee you, it might be South Carolina State, North Carolina A&T, Texas Southern University, Florida A&M. It might be Albany State. We have no idea what it's going to be, but trust me, this is what these right-wing folks are going to do. What did I tell y'all? I told y'all at the outset of this year with the inauguration that what they're trying to do is defund Black America. It is the targeting of Black America. It is everything about Black America that they are targeting. See, these fools claim to have these fearless debates. Again, trying to do what Charlie Kirk do. Going to college campuses and we're going to have debates. We're going to be debating on campus. Now, y'all, it's not their goal. Their goal is to have, frankly, rage porn. They're going to be able to say, oh, to their white supporters, look at these savages. Look at the blacks. Look how they responded when we came on campus. We just came on campus in our Make America Great Again hats and with our signs. It's the First Amendment. That's what it's all is about. It's freedom of speech. That's what their goal is going to be. And so we need to be aware of this. We need to understand what their strategy is and to realize exactly what it is they're going to try to do. And so bottom line is these folks here.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you empathy, we're gonna challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. No. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us here on another Sunday. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live every Sunday. Like. I'm not quite sure why people are having a hard time with that. But please like. Please like hit the like button. I don't know how else to say. I'm trying to think of another way.
Just like the video, please. He's begging. He's begging. Don't you hear him begging?
Teddy Pendergrass begging.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what is it about this can't go bang. I like so much shit when I'm on YouTube. When I'm on YouTube, especially see black content, I just like it and I just keep moving. But apparently,
no, I gotta like you. I have to be like, oh, you know what? I like that. Let me, boop.
Yeah.
You know, if I like you, I give you a like. But if you made me dry, I will give you a thumbs down.
If you made me dry, okay.
Hilarious.
So today, obviously, we have several topics on the docket, and our first up on the chopping block is the MAGA movement are now invading HBCUs. Why they're doing that? Why are they doing that? They're doing that, in my opinion. First of all, there's nothing to debate with MAGA. There's absolutely nothing to debate
at all.
Nothing. Like what can I possibly have to say to you?
Nothing.
I know your feelings. I know your thoughts. I know what you think of me. I know I have seen everything I need to see and hear and know about MAGA. What else? What is there to debate? There's absolutely nothing. If you show up in a place, you're just there to antagonize. That's all.
Yes. Well, we're grown and we already know this, right? But this is probably a learning lesson for our young black youth that is in college right now to let them know this is real. You understand what I'm saying? This prejudice and the way people feel about us is real. The way they feel like they can be able to come on their property where they are learning and actually set up a table and hire black security guards because they was all up in his face too. Like, you was a sellout, okay? First of all, before you even do a job, don't you supposed to find out what the job is? And as soon as you heard that they was going to a HBCU, you should have been like, nah, I'm gonna step out of this. I'm not even going. Matter of fact, I think you shouldn't go. But they went there, and I think they would set up not even 15, 20 minutes, okay? And they would run out of there packing, and you see the kids was going in on them. My only thing is, I'm happy that our young people stood up, right? But also, we got to be careful because, look, like we just said, they do that so they can antagonize and create a viral moment. They wanted this to go viral. They wanted this to be like, look how they acting. They acting crazy. We're just Americans trying to come. No, we didn't invite you. You're supposed to have an invitation. You're supposed to request an invitation. And how did you get on? How did you get on the property?
Yeah, I mean, I have said this before and I'll say it again. These people have been consistently hateful and racist for the last 400 years, and nothing has changed. It's been a steady. They're on the level, and they didn't seem to go up or down. It's just been steady hatred for the last 400 years. So there's nothing for us to talk about. Absolutely nothing. Kev, but
Yeah, well, a lot of it, the disturbing part is it's young people. When you think of racist people, you think, oh, they're older people, they're stuck in their
Oh
ways,
no.
but to see young people so racist, people in their 20s and early 30s, and even teenagers to be so racist at such an early age
Mm-hmm.
is weird and
Yeah.
scary,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's happened. I mean, you see, and that's was uh I don't want to mention his name. I'll just say CK. That was
Yeah,
his mission.
CK. We're gonna do that. CK.
His
CK.
mission was to go out to these college campuses and
Yes.
recruit young people,
Yeah.
you know, and teach them the ideology that
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
MAGA, which is racism.
Yes.
Modern day
Creating another
modern day
tribe of them.
racism. Yeah, he just a modern day Klansman. So that's all it was. It's just teaching hate. You know, uh, to young people. And so now you got all these young people. These aren't like old ass people, going to these
No.
college camps. These aren't men in their 60s or 65, 70 going to college camp.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys, 19 to 20, 21, 22. These people are young people going to these college campuses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a disturbing trend because if young people are starting to become really racist, then there's no hope for us that this ever ends. Because you always go, oh, old people are racist, and they're all going to die off anyway. And the young people are growing up with blacks. Young people go to school with blacks. They live around black people. They party with black people. They love our music. They love our culture. So we don't have these
But they
issues
don't like
anymore.
us. They don't like us.
Exactly. Yeah. So we still have these issues. And it's
Mm-hmm.
starting to the racism is starting to get younger and younger. And that's
What?
Dylan Roof, for example. And a lot of it has to do with the internet, Tiffany and Carl.
Well,
It's the
I
internet.
can't do it with
That's
the internet.
it's the
I can't.
internet that's recruiting these people. That's what happened to Dylan Roof. He was uh, not turned by his parents. He was turned from these radical. I'm just being nice, I just straight up say these racists that's on the internet. You know, Back in the old days, the Klansmen used to go out to college campuses and high schools or wherever and hand out pamphlets about white power and white this, white this. They just hand out pamphlets and always got ran off. Now you got the internet. So now you can reach thousands and millions of white people on they've been hacking into these gay. I saw a story real quickly where they're hacking into video games. Like a lot of these white kids game online,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these racist pamphlets and recruiting people are hitting them up while they're playing these games. So that's how they're reaching a lot of these kids too, through the internet, through these games. So if you're online playing a game or something, and they hack into you, and so that's a big thing now. They're reaching these kids. There's a group called I think it's called the Boogaloo Boys, and they're almost like the Proud Boys, only their whole mission is grab young kids online. So that's their whole thing is going online and recruiting young kids into their racist thinking ways.
And,
Yeah. So
right, and I get it in some instincts, but also these kids have parents. Most of these little killers, their parents taught them how to shoot or gave them a gun for their 16th birthday. Okay, it's not, they need to create boundaries and teach some type of they don't even talk about race or that much of racism in the house, but they teach a lot of hate. We don't. Us as black people, do you think we don't teach our children to hate white people, hate black people, hate Asian people, hate Western people? We don't teach our children that. But then you got these other households that do teach them that. If your child is easily to be influenced online like that, that's an issue also, that you will go along and listen to these fools and get yourself hurt. Because yeah, a lot of them do get caught out there and they now are in jail for the rest of their life for following people.
But young minds are easy to be coerced, right? That's why they go at the young people, because they're easy to be, you know,
Manipulated.
manipulated. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to, to manipulate. They already have it in their blood, right? Anyway, right? So just to tell people, yeah, you don't have jobs because of the blacks. I mean, that's been going on forever, right?
Yes, you hear that?
That's been
I
going on
don't
forever.
understand that. Why
Like,
they
it
keep
didn't just
saying
start,
that?
because it didn't just start this year, or it didn't
Right,
start
it's
with
been
Trump.
going on,
It's
but
been
it's
going
like
on
now.
forever, since what, the 50s and the 60s, especially during the 70s, when they started busting all these kids and stuff into these school stuff. So yeah, there's always been, they're stealing our jobs, they're taking our jobs.
I'm
And then
just hearing that now, what, these past few years, when you hear the black jobs and all this stuff. And I was like, I was trying to, because again, we already know MAGA is very hard to understand or try to listen to them. But just to know that they really feel like we're taking jobs. How about if we worked hard enough to get the job? You understand what I'm saying? How about we don't want you to choose us for our color. If we are experienced, give us the job. That's it. But no, they feel like we taking our jobs. CK felt like that. He felt like people were taking jobs. Black people was taking jobs away from white people. I didn't know it was serious like this. This is why we talk about creating our own. We have to create our own because these people really don't want us in their system or in their corporations. They firing people like crazy.
but here's
Yeah.
the deal, real quickly. Let me say this real quickly. We are outpacing them anyway. That's why they're so angry. Black women are the most educated group of people in America right now. They're graduating from college at a higher level than any other group. So that's why when Trump got into office, who lost all the jobs? Black women lost all those jobs. What, 300,000 jobs were lost by black women in America? And who replaced them? White men. But white
Mhm.
men can only get those jobs. It's like they can only get those jobs because Trump helped them get them, because they can't compete with these smart sisters to begin with. That's why they don't have the jobs.
Mhm. They want people that's beneath them that they can be able to control. But it's all good. This just teach us a lesson. So again, my nephew is in the HBCU, and I worry, and I told him, listen, they are coming to your schools. They are trying to come, and y'all need to be on point. Do not argue with these people. Matter of fact, all of y'all turn your back on them. Start quoting all the lynchings. Start quoting Black history. Start quoting different things. You understand what I'm saying? To be able to fight them back without even touching them, but fighting them with education, because that's the only thing they want. They want y'all to go viral for flipping on them and screaming at them, but it needed to be done. And I hope that they woke up from this to let y'all know that it is serious. Start learning your history, learn more, take up Black history in your school, because a lot of them, they have to take up the Black history, or they have to choose to take up Black history. I told my nephew, take up Black history. Learn your history, learn your background, learn where you came from, because once you know who you are, nobody can just come over and say anything to you or try to debate you and put you down, because those men were there trying to put people down and make people feel uncomfortable on their campus. No, and something have to give. So they need to really keep an eye out. And I hope that the staff and whoever's in charge, y'all make sure y'all protect those Black students and don't be letting these white boys on the daggone campus. It's scary. I'm scared.
John Boy Media on YouTube says Asians are the highest demographic graduating from college. Can we Google that or see if that Kevin can see? Because I think I've always heard it was black women, but John Boy Media on YouTube is saying that it's Asians that are the highest demographic.
Not true. But
Not true.
okay. No.
Okay. All right, John Boy. So I don't know where you got your info from, but if you want to share it with us, we would appreciate it. I'm going to show a video of why CK was so popular, because these people do not believe, or they did not see CK as. They just saw him as a guy who was debating. That's that, and it's weird. It's not weird, but it shows how far apart we are. Like, they saw him as a guy who's just going around debating people, but he's saying some racist, hateful shit. But they don't see that. They see him as a great debater. But
Yes.
this might help us to. I mean, we already know the mindset, but it's just interesting to watch.
So you didn't think he was black?
I am.
Not that. Here.
When Charlie Kirk was assassinated for his political beliefs, there were 58 Democrats who would not vote for a resolution to honor him. So
and I was one of them.
Why do you think it was?
I don't mind honoring anybody's life. I've got a problem with their legacy. And I know what the legacy of Kirk was. When I turn on my TV and I see someone telling me what an awful person Martin Luther King Jr. was, when I see somebody telling me, if I get on an airplane and there's a black pilot, I begin to wonder, is he qualified? What does that mean? Those are the words that came out of his mouth.
That's not what he said. And
that is exactly what he said. I got the exact quote.
It's not in context at all what he was talking about. It was a conversation about affirmative action. You know that, Congressman. This has been well litigated and well debated.
Everything about black people is about affirmative action. And so what's wrong with affirmative action?
No.
Look, you're telling me that when I came out of college and couldn't get a job, that was because I was not qualified?
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is Charlie Kirk was very clear. If these companies openly say that they have to somehow fill a quota of people, whether it be a race or gender, not based on merit, but based on their race or gender, the obvious should be clear to everyone, which is that person then qualified?
So
that's an obvious question. Because of the bar that the corporation itself set up by saying publicly, we're going to do this type of DEI hiring, then you have to wonder, is it because of their race or their gender?
Can I just that's not what it is. Hold on a second. That's not what it is. Hogan, why would you have to wonder? Yeah, I mean, why would you have to wonder that? Yeah. The only reason you would wonder that is if you're inclined to believe that nobody can be qualified if they are black and brown going into those roles. But here's one other thing that I think is just a factual dispute with what you're describing. You're suggesting that the standards are lower for people of color filling these roles when there is absolutely
the exact opposite.
No evidence.
The exact opposite.
No, but that's what you said.
No, it isn't.
Hold on, Hogan. You said that they are only getting these jobs because of their race or gender.
That's not what I said.
And not because they are qualified. So are they qualified or not?
That's not what I said.
Are they qualified or not?
What I said was
hold on, Hogan, is a pilot sitting on an airplane, flying a plane, whether he's black or white or a woman or gay or lesbian, if they are sitting in that seat and they meet the FAA requirements for being in that seat, are they qualified?
If they are qualified, I sure hope so.
But you don't believe that they're qualified
because of what?
That's not what I said.
What I said was if the criteria was their race or gender,
then
how am I to know if the qualification is there?
We had a president of the United States.
We had a president of the United States,
Hogan, I don't want you to
came out and said
Hogan, you're changing,
he wanted
I don't want you to change the subject because you are making
to be the vice president. So when I noticed that's what he said, that's not my fault. Joe Biden said it.
You were in the White House when Donald Trump said he was going to put a woman on the Supreme Court, and then he picked Amy Coney Barrett. Is she not qualified?
She is extremely qualified.
Okay, so why is she qualified, but Ketanji Brown Jackson is not?
He talked about the qualification as well. What I'm saying is, in that clear directive from Joe Biden, in the clear directive from those companies, they are saying we are filling a quota.
Let me ask.
They're not even saying filling a quota.
I'm going to ask you again because I think you have another opportunity to really think this through. Donald Trump said, I am going to pick a woman to go on the Supreme Court. Oh, you know what?
It was one of
Let
his
me give you another one.
So should he not have
George
done that?
George H.W. Bush said, "I am going to pick I'm going to pick a black man to fill a role on the Supreme Court." Are those people unqualified?
I want always the most qualified people to hold those jobs.
Are they qualified or not?
It depends on their qualification.
A quota or not?
It's always a quota when you base it on race or gender. If you base it on qualification, if the person that's hired is black or a woman or whatever, it doesn't matter. That's
Let
the
me just
point.
ask you a direct question.
It's the ultimate meritocracy.
Is it okay for Donald Trump to have DEI quotas or not?
It's not okay for anyone to have DEI quotas.
So then why did he have a DEI quota, by your definition, for Amy Coney Barrett?
He didn't. He said that was one of the selections. People said he should fill it with a woman.
Okay. He said he was going to fill it with a woman, and he did.
He did not only.
Wow.
Right there, I mean, they totally, obviously, he totally ignored the message Charlie Kirk. He just said Charlie Kirk was killed for his beliefs.
Yeah, they don't see what we see. They don't feel how we feel. We learned that in the Trump election, the last Trump election. We already see that. That's why we said we wasn't going to even, they don't see it. They don't. He was different. That CK was different. And the way he feel and the way he thought is the way many people that followed him. Look at his funeral. Did you see some of his funeral? It was like, okay.
No, I
It felt
couldn't
like a
stomach it.
mega rally. You understand? It's just real sad. It's just real sad. It's just crazy.
Oh, let me respond to the YouTuber who came in and corrected me real quickly. So I'm reading here, and I got that stat from Larry Daniel Favorite, by the way, Paul, what I said. But it says here that I lost my damn thing anyway. So Asian people, yes, he said Asian people graduate. It's Alan Pacific. I lost my damn article here. Alan Pacific, Asian people graduate at a higher rate, but it's not just the women, it's the whole group. The men and the women is the stat that I guess he's coming from. I'm just referring to as black women, not the whole Allen Pacific race that goes to college here in America. So I was saying black women are graduating at a higher rate right now than everybody else. Not that there's more black women in college than, there's more Asian people in college and more Asian people graduating with bachelor degrees, as I was reading here, kind of reading as you guys were talking, but I lost my article. But anyway, I did Google it. Some truth to what he said, but we're talking specifically black women, not the
I
whole.
think he put a bachelor's degree women, 14%, white women, 57. I don't believe that. Asian
No,
women,
no,
8.3 or
no.
something like that.
I was reading it was black women were 81%. So anyway.
All right, so
we're in school, damn it.
Interesting comment here, our statement from Ray Jr. from Facebook. And obviously he's not in favor of the DEI. Here is his question or his statement. What's up, Ray? Ray said, geez, if a company stated half of its workforce had to be under 5 feet tall, we'd all ask the same questions Charlie Kirk did. It had nothing to do with race and everything to do with quotas. We saw a midget, we'd wonder how he got the job. Obviously, Ray, you don't understand DEI and how it works. I'm going to try to explain to you how DEI works. DEI just means, and we've known this has been the history of America, right? They have these jobs, and these jobs are only put out to a certain demographic, right? And most of the businesses in America were created by white men because they were the only people who were allowed to have businesses, who were allowed to create companies. Black people were not allowed to create companies, to own the business. If you invent something, you can't own your patent. A white man had to go far and say, hey, it's my patent, it's my invention. So when you create that environment, if I create a company and let's say I create a company and I'm from Barbados, right? And I decide I am going to hire only people from Barbados because that's the people I know. Those are my people. And people are like, why don't you hire some people from other islands? And but you know what I mean? But there are other qualified people from those other islands. But I'm only focused on the people
Yeah, that's prejudice.
yeah, you know, it's not like one qualified from Jamaica or St. Lucia or you know what I mean, wherever. So they say, hey, you got to open up your jobs to other people, right? And if you find another qualified person who's not from Barbados, you have to hire that person because they too deserve. They do deserve to have those jobs. They need to be exposed to those jobs. So it's not about hiring unqualified people just because they're black or just because they're short or tall or whatever. Is that give every qualified person a chance. Every person deserves a chance.
Yeah. Regardless of your race, creed.
Absolutely.
If you have the qualifications, you should be able to get the
I didn't
job.
know the content.
Absolutely. They're not gonna take a pilot who knows nothing about flying a plane and go, hey, we have too many white pilots. You're black. You go fly the plane. That's not how it works.
No. You have to work extra
You have
hard.
to
And
be
you know,
more
black people,
qualified.
yeah.
And black people know, Kevin knows, and I know when I do a show, I have to be the funniest fucking guy.
You got to work harder.
I have to be. I can't. I have no room to suck. No room. So we got to go hard when we do a show.
I remember a white comedian used to show up. He used to get drunk all the time. He's since passed away, so I won't mention his name, but he used to get drunk all the time and show up late to these comedy clubs. And one time he spent all his money. He's supposed to be at the Improv in DC, and he's in LA. He spent his money for his plane ticket. So, and the Improv has sent him money to buy a ticket. They still flew him in to do the show. Like a black guy can never do that. Like a black comic
Yeah, he had
could
skin protection.
never,
He had that privilege.
never get away with that crap of showing up late to a comedy club, missing the gig, and all that sort of stuff. You know, but here's the thing about what Charlie Kirk said. I don't want to make the show about Charlie Kirk. We've done enough shows on Charlie Kirk. But let me say this quickly. The whole thing about the black palette, like Tiffany said, if you're a black palette, you probably, if you get on a plane and you see a black palette, the last thing you need to do is be nervous because a woman, white woman or black woman or Asian woman or black man probably most likely can work harder than everybody else to get that
To
seat
get the position, right.
to be on that plane, to be able to fly that 747. They probably done twice as much work as the white person to get that position. And then my other rebuttal to that whole thing is every major aviation disaster that happened in this country since I've been living on this planet have all been at the hands of white men. I don't remember I don't remember no planes crashing with a brother behind the wheel. I just want to put that out there. So
Yeah, you not like, but the
it just haven't
helicopter.
happened. Like it just haven't happened. Like I've seen
No, it
just about
hasn't
every
happened.
plane crash that has happened in America since I've been living, and
No plane crash.
they're all been white pilots. And there's
Right.
never been no plane has gone down with a major plane airline with passengers on it has crashed with at the hands of a black pilot. They always
You
been.
ain't lying about that. And you want to hear something? Why just recently, a black man was flying a helicopter in Brooklyn and it went down. And I mean, in Manhattan.
Oh
And the
yeah,
first thing Trump said, "Oh, that was DEI." What? Why?
yeah,
Because he was black. How about them helicopters ain't good enough? You
that's
understand
what
what
it
I'm saying?
was.
You don't know what's going on up there. And as soon as you turn around, they say he done made thousands of trips. He done flew for the Air Force and everything. There all of a sudden, oh, it's DEI while the plane went down. So it's just like, regardless to what, black people have to work hard to be able to get to what they want. That's in Senate. That's in education. Like y'all said, in comedy and hairstyling, we have to work extra hard so we can be respected. Because if you don't, they will look down on you.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Mr. Ray Jr. on Facebook, I think I know Ray, if I remember. He says, are you trying to say Bajan? Basian? Basin? Bassin? I don't know. Bassin privilege in full effect right now. I think you're trying to say Bajan, if if you're trying to spell Bajan, my ethnicity, it's Bajan. If you want to do it correctly, but I am assuming that's what you're trying to say, but I don't know what you mean by Bayesian privilege in full effect. I don't get where that's going. But DEI is not about putting anyone in a position just because of their color, their race, their ethnicity, their gender. It's giving opportunity to other people. That's all it's about. And we all know when you're a different ethnicity or a different gender, you have to. I know when like I said, when Kevin knows when we go on stage, we got to go hard. You know, if you are the CEO of a company and you're black, you got to do a great job, because if you fail, they're gonna say, "See, we gave one of you guys a job, and look, you messed up."
Messed up. Mm-hmm.
So you think those black pilots don't have the same thought process? They know.
They
They
know.
know you will get the smoothest landing from a black pilot.
Yeah, you better believe it.
They absolutely one bump and they can fucking probably lose their job. You know what I mean? You get some on the plane complain about the freaking bump. You know what I mean? Oh, he landed, but there was a couple of bumps, and it's, brother's out of a job. But so Ray, I get what you're saying, but the problem is there's millions of more people who think like you, who think that DEI means just giving people jobs just because they're black, or they're a woman, or they're gay, or they're transgender. But that's DEI is. DEI is opening opportunities to everyone. So, so hopefully something from that. John Boy Media, I'm not sure what was said here, but he said Kevin Hart could, Chris Rock could, and Eddie Murphy could. Did we say, or is he referring to someone in the comments? I don't know what with that. Yeah, so to wrap this up, these MAGA people going to these HBCU colleges,
Be
campuses,
alert.
they're just there to antagonize. They know, but they know they can't. They're not there to recruit or debate. They're just there to antagonize, and we are not falling. So we don't need to talk. Just get out. Absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna let Tiffany. I try to read as much as possible about Asada Shakur, but all I know, she was in the Black Panthers, and they tried to say she murdered a police officer, and she was broken out of jail by some other Black Panthers.
Yeah.
They got to go to Cuba.
Yeah, some years. First of all, you know that the Black Panthers was targeted by COINTELPRO and also E. Edgar Hoover. The message was we have to kill any type of Messiah-like type of figure in their community. This is why you had Fred Hammond murdered. So many people were targeted, murdered, or are actually falsely accused of doing things that they didn't do because they wanted to break them up. She was targeted on the highways and I believe it's in the 70s. I'm sorry if I believe it's in the early 70s. She was targeted with her and her friends riding on the turnpike. By the time they turned around, it was 3 people dead, and she shot in her shoulder and stuff like that. And that was all hell broke loose. Because the other 2 men were murdered, you already know in the system, anybody that was there, they get it too. So they wind up giving her 30 years to life, then a plus another 30 years. So she's supposed to have been dying in that jail. The jury were all relatives of troopers and stuff, so it wasn't a good jury. They had her in a men's facility. They did not want her around women. You already know when you around women, you can make women exhale. You can build women. So they kept her in a men's facility, confined. So once she had that opportunity to make that step, she made that step, and she wound up escaping with the help of her comrades that protected her. And she laid low for a few years before she went into Cuba and has been there ever since then. She was 78 years old. She was born in 1947. They don't have directly have her her date of birth. Her daughter, she has a daughter. Her daughter is Akuya Shakur. How she's connected with Tupac Shakur is because Tupac's mother is brothers with the man that she was involved with. So that's like they auntie. They was their auntie slash godmother. So that's how they had their connection with each other. She's definitely a revolutionary because she fought for rights of people, for black people at that, and they tried to shut her down and they were mad because she escaped and she was able to be in exile and Cuba was not giving her up. Castro was not giving her up at all. They kept her there. They gave her asylum that she was able to live out her life. But what bothered me in 2013, they actually put another $1 million bond. Is made it up to 2 million, where they had her on the FBI wanted, and this is during the time of Obama. Isn't it something, of his time? Being in office where they boost up her bond, and then later on, Trump called for her. And you like, are you serious? She's a senior. Y'all really gonna come and get her after 40 plus years, of protecting herself? And she said it. It was no way in the world I was able to shoot or kill anybody if I was shot in my arm. As she said, she was shot in her shoulder and in her back. Her lawyer told it they had enough evidence, but you already know the system was against us anyway during that time, especially Black Panthers or anybody fighting for Black truth. But definitely, we want to send our condolences out to her daughter, to her family, And she said the only thing she missed from America was being around Black people, being with her people and the music and stuff. She appreciated Cuba because they took her in, but that's what she missed. But she's at peace now, and she died, free. You understand what I'm saying? She still had to look over her back. You understand what I'm saying? Because people really wanted to really come and get her. But she lived out her life and she lived it to 78. Matula just died a few years ago too, in 2023. That was Tupac's stepfather and stuff. He just made his transition not too long ago. But we definitely want to send our condolences out to the Shakur family.
All right, so here's a bit of Asada Shakur.
Well, when I came to Cuba, I really didn't know what to expect. I had these crazy images because even though I considered myself a socialist, I considered myself someone who really identified with the Cuban Revolution, I had been raised on a diet of anti-communism. And so I came here and I was expecting, first of all, everybody to look like Fidel. I thought everybody was going to wear green fatigues and stuff. It was just a crazy thing. And I thought people would be talking like the revolution. I just had these crazy stereotypes. And then when I came, it was wow, a whole new world. The first thing that hit me was, just how beautiful the nature is here. Whether it's the sea, whether it's the plants. This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. Everything is so lush, so green, so ripe. And, just the climate made me immediately feel at home. I was very much impressed by the healthcare system, by the education system, by the sports teams, by all of the many things that the revolution has been able to accomplish. What has impressed me most has been how people live, just how people relate to each other. I come from a society that is literally at war with itself. I didn't even know how to react to people when I came here. People would just come off the street and start talking to me, and I would immediately get paranoid. What do they want? It was very difficult for me to realize, somebody would say, what time is it? Or where did you buy that? Because Cubans will come up to you and just talk to you, whether you were in a store or on a line, and that was something very different, that human contact.
Rest in power to Assata Shakur, a Black Liberation Army freedom fighter who escaped from prison and spent her last 4 decades living in freedom in Cuba, while the United States fought unsuccessfully to get her back. Her amazing autobiography, Assata, details a life in Black liberation, and it tells the story of her going to prison, and then, poof, she's out of prison. It says nothing about how she escaped. But we do know the story. She was in the midst of doing life in prison. 4 BLA members, including Tupac's stepfather, went to visit her, pulled out hammers, grabbed 2 COs, and then made their way out with her to the parking lot where they let the COs go, and they escaped in a van. A few years later, she went to Cuba, where Fidel Castro granted her political asylum. The U.S. government put in a lot of work to try to get her back from Cuba. This was one of Trumpy's priorities, to get her back from Cuba. Well, she's free forever now.
Now, here's why uneducated people are so dangerous. Here's a sister who obviously knows nothing about Assata Shakur. Here she is.
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not too broken up about Assata Shakur's passing because, A, I find it very ironic you pick an African name, you flee to a Latino country for asylum, but what the hell did you actually do for us? Assata Shakur was for self, much like a lot of those Black Panthers. That's why they were dismantled.
Girl, shut the fuck up, loser. Every day I learn why Harriet Tubman left some of you niggas behind. Number one, if you don't understand why Assata Shakur did not go to any other country but Cuba, was because she was protected by Cuba. She was given political asylum by Cuba. Okay? Why would she go to Africa when historically Africa was still occupied by the French? Why would she go there? Then you went on to talk about the Black Panther Party. First of all, the Black Panther Party was deemed a terrorist organization by the federal government because they were teaching people how to defend themselves. Okay, they were about that action. But also, you didn't really talk about the food program that they made it. They implemented a breakfast program in 1969. By 1971, it had expanded to 36 cities, feeding over 20,000 children. This also affected their schoolwork. This affected how they operated in schools. These kids were making better grades. They were paying attention in school because they were not going to school focused because they were hungry. That's what the Black Panther Party did. Loser. So before you get up here and you just start spouting out bullshit that people are not helping the community, that people are not helping anything, please get your fucking facts right. As a matter of fact, shut the fuck up.
You know, he kept it real because I felt the same way. You cannot be popping shit with the blue bonnet on your head. This is not Bonnet Chronicles. You need to do your history before you say anything. And he's 100% right. She did a lot just by her name and escaping, fighting for our rights. Come on, she just let us know how racist the system is, how racist the law system is, the jail system is. Come on, they've been railroading us for years. You know how many people are coming out of jail right now after 30, 40 years of serving and they didn't do shit? I mean, excuse me, they didn't do anything.
You're right, Tiff. You're right.
I mean, come on, because they railroaded us. Half that stuff we didn't deserve. They just put a special needs in jail for doing something. Now, I don't see nobody in the special needs on these streets protesting with other special needs to fight for this girl rights. Okay? They really need to really pick and choose properly on what to fight for. I'm sorry. I digress.
No, like I said, that's why education is so important. She knows nothing. Assata Shakur, the whole Black Panther movement, and did bomb an entire block in Philadelphia just to get a few Black Panthers back in the day.
Yes, it
No,
is. No,
was
was that
it them
was that
or it was another
was that
group
for the,
that they was bombing? But no, they
that was
killed
another group?
Fred Hammond.
Another group.
And it's your friend in his bed with
Yeah, they
his
killed
fiance,
Fred
right?
Hammond, and it was a daggone what you call them when they infiltrate, put somebody in there black. They just shit. They believe he was drugged. That's why he couldn't even get up to fight or to run, because his wife even said she kept trying to wake him up, and he was just kept going down. And the guy going, which was an informant. He wound up drugging him and told them how the house was and everything. So it be your own people that would take you down, and you trying to fight for their freedom. Because a lot of them was taken down by their own people. A lot of them was taken down by them coming in and putting negative inside of their community because they was doing too much. They was helping too many people. They didn't want that. They did not want that at all. So what did? They shut them down. They infiltrated people in there. They put drugs in there because a lot of drugs. Huey P. Newton got on drugs. And he was one of the smartest ones. He went to college and everything. So no, the Black Panthers did make a mark in our life. They started a lot with revolution for us standing up for ourselves. I salute them and I honor them. Yes, we have our ups and downs, but nothing is perfect, and we already knew the system was against us anyway.
All right, Kevin, you know how to not get harassed or shot by the police? You
I'm
just
sorry, say that again.
have you ever wondered how to not get shot or harassed by the police? I have a video of a brother's going to teach you how. Just don't be black. You just.
How you don't be black and you can't wipe
Okay,
it off,
okay.
Carl? I can't
You
wipe
just
off the brown off my skin.
gotta have the right vernacular. You just gotta learn how to speak there. Here you go. Watch and learn.
So you didn't think it was black? I am an individual. I am not a black. So you didn't think it was black? I am an individual. I am not a black man. I don't even know what that means. I am an individual. Race is a preposterous social construct.
Do you feel like that when you get pulled
truth.
over by the police?
I do feel like that when I get pulled over
Must
by
be
the police.
nice.
You know why? Because when they talk to me, they're engaging with this vernacular. They're engaging with me in this particular way. And it's impossible to misconstrue what's going on here.
What is going on there? What is going on there? What is going on there? A different type of blackness than when there's somebody that actually might not have that vernacular?
I'm an individual.
Right, but what is, wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Okay.
You just said a lot there.
So apparently we do have time.
Okay, so you said when you were pulled over by a police as an individual who happens to have skin that is black, let's say that.
I mean,
or
I'd say
brown,
this is
whatever, darker than white, okay?
Yeah.
That when they hear your vernacular, they realize what they're engaging with. And what is that?
A sophisticated individual.
And so when a black person who is pulled over that you might not deem as a sophisticated individual, how will they get engaged
The
with?
issue would not be their race. It would be the degree of sophistication they have or don't have to navigate the situation.
And when a white person is pulled over,
again, sophistication is still the key issue.
the statistics don't support that.
I just don't.
They don't.
Go ahead, John.
Look,
Kevin.
Oh,
That's
God.
complicated. The brother said. The brother said.
So he turns into a black white. Soon as he be like, yo, hello, mate. How are you doing today? My name is Charlie. How may I help you, officers? I'm sorry.
None of that works with racist people, though.
They drag his ass out.
when if they don't like you because of your skin color, it don't matter how well you talk or how well you're dressed. You know, your ass is grass. You know, at the end of the day, and that's ridiculous. I mean, he has some issues because he thinks. I know what he's thinking. He thinks that him acting white is going to save his ass. That's what he's basically thinking. That if he
And you'll be the first to go.
Yeah, he comes off as, oh, I'm educated and I'm not like those other blacks, and and he's talking like he's better than other black people. Racist people don't care if you're smart, if you're educated,
They don't like smart niggas anyway.
if you talk proper, if you're wearing a 3-piece suit, they don't care. If they're racist, you can have on blue jeans and a t-shirt, or you can have on a suit. If they want to F with you, they're going to F with you because
Correct.
if they pulled you over because you're black, then you're going to get treated like you're black. then I don't know why he thinks he can sway racist people by pretending to be white or educated, or like other black people aren't educated. Basically, what he's trying to say is, I'm a smart Negro, and
Yeah.
everybody,
I'm a perfect coon.
yeah, that's basically what he's trying to say. He's a perfect coon.
Yeah.
Get it right on the nose, but that doesn't work. I mean,
No,
now if
it
you put,
doesn't,
yeah, it
because
doesn't
they
work.
will. Yep, they will
This
let you know who you are.
and this next video is going to prove it, because here's a lawyer, black lawyer, who's in court, put on, and he's defense. And guess who they thought he was? He's a lawyer, and they thought he was the he thought he
The
was
help.
the convict. There you go. He's a published lawyer. I forgot his name, but he's Kev. You might, when you see him, you might remember his name. But he just wrote a book about the Jews killing the Palestinians, and he's pretty well known. I didn't get his name.
I went to Harvard Law School. I've got a lot of degrees and awards. I've won cases at the U.S. Supreme Court, and I've been in courtrooms representing clients, getting there early, sitting at defense counsel's table, where the judge will walk in and immediately get mad at me. The judge will look at me and say, hey, you get back out there in the hallway. I don't want any defendants sitting in my courtroom without their lawyer. And I have to stand up and say, well, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I am the lawyer. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Brian Stevenson. I have to try to de-escalate this situation. And I was doing that recently. I was in a courtroom in the Midwest, and the judge started laughing, but it wasn't an apologetic laugh. And it kind of angered me. And the prosecutor started laughing. They thought it was so funny. And I was sitting there getting angry. And then I thought, oh no, Brian, you can't get angry. You need to smile. You may need to laugh. And I felt that way. I thought that way because my client was not going to be able to leave that county. I was able to leave that county and never come back based on the way I was treated if I chose to do that. But my client was going to have to stay there. So when they were laughing, I smiled. And then I eventually chuckled. Client came in, we did the hearing. But I remember sitting in my car after that hearing thinking, wow, here I am, this middle-aged black man. I'm in my best suit. I actually argued the case at the Supreme Court that we were trying to implement. I've got all of these degrees and awards, and I'm still required to laugh at my own humiliation to do justice for my client. That's not right. That's not fair. And I'm getting old enough to know that when you have to constantly navigate presumptions of dangerousness and guilt because of your color, when you have to tell your children how to survive a police encounter, what to do and what not to do, how they can't do the things that their white friends can do because they're going to be burdened with this presumption, when you have to constantly navigate this world, it's exhausting. And I want something better. I want something better for everybody. And that's why the commitment to truth-telling, the commitment to building institutions that help us understand the harms of history is such a priority.
Let me tell this story real quick, Carl and Tiff. Carl, you got something to say? Yeah, you got something to say on that? I want you to. I kind of know. I know exactly how he feels. I dealt with that yesterday. I went to the bank yesterday to deposit some money, but the bank was closed. I got there after hours. My bank closed at like 12. I was there around 1. And I pull up the same time this white lady pulls up, and she goes inside. She beats me inside. Now, when the bank is closed, you got to use your debit card to get inside to the ATM machine on the inside. But I could see she was uncomfortable that I was standing there. And, it sucks that I had to make her feel comfortable because it's not my job, right? But I did anyway. So I pull out my debit card so she could see my red Wells Fargo debit card so she could stop freaking out that I'm standing outside the teller machine waiting for her to come at the door. And while I'm doing all this to please this woman, which I shouldn't have done, but, I knew she was tense that I was standing there while she was getting her money. So I flashed my card so she could see I'm a customer at the bank. Another lady pulls up in her she was driving like a blue little SUV. She goes, I'm just standing there and I got big hands. So the card is palmed in my hand. She don't see my card. She goes, are you the security? And I'm standing there. I have on blue jeans, a T-shirt that says Beverly Hills on it, and a baseball cap. Now, you know damn well I'm not security. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he said. It's exhausting being us, man. It's exhausting navigating on a daily basis as a black person in this country, man. You always are put on the spot. You know, you always got to prove something to people. You know, I can't even stand at ATM machine. Now, if I was white, a white guy, she probably wouldn't even care. The fact that I was a black man, are you security? Like, what? I look like security? I'm dressed in street clothes. Not even nice street clothes. I'm in some blue jeans and a damn T-shirt. I just ran to the bank to put some money in, Damn, but I had to prove to two different women within the 5 minutes of me being at that bank. I made two white women uncomfortable. Just me standing out there, just going to deposit some money, man.
And that's
So I know
sad that
the brother saying, I did a reel on it. I put on I did a reel about it while I was standing there. But yeah, and posted it on my reels. But yeah, I know the brother saying straight up what he's saying, man. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Well, security is a black job. That's the black jobs that talking about, right?
Well, if I was in some khakis in a shirt or something, I could see her thinking I may be security. You could tell the way I was dressed. I'm not working as a security guard on that particular day.
But guys, remember back in the day, there was a movie that came out called Soul Man.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a scene in Soul Man, I don't know if you guys remember this, where they were all sitting around the table and the black guy was talking. Well, it was a white guy who became black because he was trying to get into this college, so he had to act black. And
I remember that. I didn't see it though. I remember the movie. I didn't see it though. I remember just talking about that. Yeah.
But he was talking to the white family, and while he was talking, they saw him as they showed him with like a loincloth, and a spear, like a spear chucker kind of thing. So it was showing, he was talking to them as a regular human being. They saw him as a African guy with a spear, and
right.
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You could put on all the suit. You could put on a suit. You can dress as you're black. Once they see that black face, that is all they see, which is, I mean, it's amazing. Like, that's why are we going to argue with MAGA going to HBCU? Why they a certain way? I mean, yeah, I know Gina and Scooby D too. I know you guys are not like that, but there is a large majority of white people who just see us as
they gotta try us, and
they just see a black. That's all they see, a black thing. There's something black, and it's walking, and it's just black, and we don't want nothing to do with it. You know?
Yeah. But I'm happy that he told us his story and what he had to go through. And you can have all the accolades, all the degrees, but they would still laugh at you like to how you made it this far. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm glad that he was able to get that wake up call too. And that's something that we have to deal with. Sometimes we do have to dim our light to make everybody else feel comfortable. You understand? To actually sometimes make it out safe too. You understand? But learn your lesson from that situation. So shout out to him for telling his story.
Yeah, so when they say CK, when CK said stuff like when he sees a black pilot nervous because he doesn't think he's qualified, and that might seem minor to people, but you're costing a black family money, right? That's another way of keeping black people down. You're telling me pilots make a good salary. I don't deserve to make a pilot salary because you think I'm not qualified.
And it's so we don't even think like that. I never thought to see a black or white pilot. I just feel like y'all did enough education to have y'all asses up there. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all did enough to get there, so why should I worry? This is your job. Now, if I go up there and you look a little crazy, I'm gonna think twice about getting on the plane, because I always, for some reason, I gotta see the pilot in the beginning. I gotta make sure, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Thank you. Get us up there nice. And that's it. And then when I leave, I say thank you, and that's it. But I think that anybody that is in a position, black, white, or whatever, I'm thinking that you're qualified. I never thought to say, I don't think that white person is
Well,
qualified.
because white people know they put white people in positions just because they're white. That's it. They do that.
That's why. That's why. So don't you notice that we are getting a lot of projecting from these white people? They are saying all these negative things about us and just saying it indirectly when it's actually them. They need to put the mirror in their face. It's time to look at the man in the mirror. It's you.
Donald Trump were black. Do you think black people will vote for Donald Trump? You think Donald Trump would be president if he were black? I mean, do you think
Hell no. Hell
black
no.
vote for Donald Trump if he was a black man? Would black people be Donald Trump? Come on, go Donald if you were no. You know?
No. You know what? Trump could have got black votes like that, but because he changed up and let everybody know who he was, because let me tell you something, Trump was in black spaces. I know growing up, he was always in the hip hop
Yeah, I
spaces.
know, but I'm saying clearly we can that's smart. He, you know what I mean? He's not a great politician. He's, you know what I mean? The man's an idiot.
No, but he's smart on certain things because look how he got there.
But he got because he's white.
Well, he got there
No,
with
we understand that, but remember, you got white people that don't is they going against each other also. You know, so like I said,
well, he had
he know
millions of
what
white
he
people that don't
doing.
like. Yeah, he has millions of white people that don't like him too. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He knows how to get there. He knew what he was doing. He knew how. Remember, he's a media person. He's a media. He's eating up all of this stuff. He's eating it all up.
Yeah.
He sucks.
So Joe on YouTube said the group was called Move, that they bombed the whole city block in Philly. Okay. So,
Thank you.
similar to the movement was the
No,
No,
I
it
don't
was.
think so.
I remember what it is. I think they actually just apologized for that because a lot of people lost their lives and stuff like that.
yeah. All right. So we're gonna do I want to do a little tribute to the two suicides. So if you're not comfortable with suicide talk, you can take a break from the show because I saw
Trigger warning.
the warning. Yes, trigger warning. It's never easy to talk about suicide, and I've had suicide in my family. Somebody else earlier said that their mom,
Mhm.
on
Took
the
their life. Yeah.
but I don't know if you can ever see suicide coming because when my cousin committed suicide, I certainly didn't think that was on her mind at all. You know what I mean? She always
Because we don't pay attention to that. That's one of the things that if you listen to a lot of people before or after or when they thinking about it, not one of their family members understand or is available to talk to them at the moment and don't even know that they're going through it because a lot of people are not paying attention to the signs.
yeah. So Ira Spalding and Rudy Johnson, the football player. So here's a couple of videos, and I would have never thought. Well, she did not. Tyra pretty much did say she was fighting demons. So
Mental health awareness. This is what I preach for a lot. I saw too many people go down because of mental health and not able to get assistance while they was going through crisis.
yeah. All right. So first video is of her smiling, like a few days before she actually committed suicide, and then the other of her talking the issues she's fighting mentally.
Perhaps after I'm gone and let my death starts announcing everywhere, people will, stumble upon, or they will start to research who I am, and then probably they'll find these videos and they'll be like, oh my gosh, she was struggling and she was, at least she was trying, like she was doing the whole YouTube thing. She tried to do OnlyFans as a last resort. Like, she was trying. And then everybody would be like so sad because, oh, she's not here anymore. Oh. That's usually how it goes. Like, no one really pays attention or cares until it's too late. And it's sad that that's the way things are, but I mean, what else is a person to do? I'm in a crisis. I'm fighting for my life over here. This is so crazy. I wonder how many other people go through stuff like this. And I wonder why, like, I don't know, I can't quite pinpoint, like why am I thinking all of these things all of a sudden? It's like, I can't understand why. It's like there's two different me's. One of them wants me to live, and one of them wants me to. It's me against me over here. Me against me. Me against me. Am I the only person that experiences this? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. But I feel like a lot of people don't even live to tell the tale or to tell their story because their mind just consumes them, and my mind is trying to kill me. And if I do nothing, I am going to die, guys.
A troubling clip from a 21-minute YouTube video posted on September 4, 2025 by Tyra Spalding, a contestant in the 2023 Miss Universe Jamaica pageant. The video continues.
Every day I get up, my mind tells me to go and jump off a building. It tells me to go and overdose on pills. It tells me to go and hang myself. I am fighting for my life.
Miss Spalding's body was reportedly found by relatives Tuesday night with a curtain around the neck. The corporate communication network of the Jamaica Constabulary Force has launched an investigation. This Instagram account with her name has a single post from August 15, 2025. The caption says, "Your girl has been through hell and back." In another video, she lamented that while she didn't want to entertain suicidal thoughts, she was struggling to keep them at bay.
I think this world is truly, truly evil and evil only.
She went further to say she felt as though there were two versions of herself, one who wants her to live and one who wants her to die. In late July, 3 cases of suicide were reported within a week, triggering concern from local mental health specialists. Concerns were also raised about the rise in suicide attempts among children and adolescents globally. Now, since the start of September, at least 2 cases were reported locally. And according to data from the JCF, the number of suicide deaths increased 4 consecutive years since 2021. The numbers climbed to 67 in 2024, the highest since 2001, when 75 people took their own lives. Psychologist Dr. Susan Ratchie Hammond.
I also want to say thank you to all my coaches and all my teammates who helped me along the way.
Former Cincinnati Bengals running back Rudy Johnson has died. He was 45 years old.
It was all worth it, and all of the relationships that were built along the way.
TMZ reports the NFL pro died by suicide just after midnight on Tuesday. They're told Rudy was struggling with mental health issues and possible effects of CTE, a neurodegenerative disease that develops after repeated head injuries, typically sustained in contact sports. ETs reached out to Rudy's family for comment.
It taught me a lot about hard work, discipline, dedication.
Rudy played for Auburn University before he was drafted by the Bengals in 2001. His pro career ended in 2008 when he was playing for the Detroit Lions. Rudy was also a dedicated man of the community. Through his foundation, he provided assistance to families and children to promote self-sufficiency.
I just want to say, dream big, shoot for the stars, stay focused, never give up.
R.I.P. Rudy Johnson. They're kind of back on their heels. Yeah, their body language says so much in football. That's what's happening right now. It could change in one snap, though. Rudy Johnson. Rudy Johnson. Rudy Johnson. Rudy Johnson.
Yeah, let me say, I once watched a documentary on people who unalive themselves, commit suicide from the Golden Gate Bridge. That is the most used bridge for suicides in the world. It's the Golden Gate Bridge, and I think like 3 or 4 people survived the jump.
Mhm.
And when they interviewed those people, all of them said when they jumped halfway down, they wish they had never jumped.
They get halfway, then it was like it was too late. They ass was gone. Yeah.
Which means that tells me that every single person that jumped had this, you know what I mean? Probably thinking the same thing, man. They just want pain to go away, or they wanted whatever it is bugging them to stop. They want some attention. One guy said, on his way to jump from the bridge, he said he got up that morning and he was getting ready to, this was the day he decided this is the day I'm going to do it. He said no one he looked really sad. He said no one in his family asked him if he was okay. Everybody just kind of doing their own thing, ignoring him. He said he got on the bus. He was crying. He said was literally crying on the bus, crying tears. People just stayed away.
Anything, right?
No one asked him, "Hey, are you okay?" And he said that told me no one cares. So he said he walked to the jump, crying all the way. No one asked him. Said so, and he jumped because no one talked to him. No one asked him if he was okay. I mean, is there any way? Or I think talking, asking people if I know it's a hard thing to do, to reach out to people to ask them if they're okay, because I know when I'm deep, I don't, most men, I guess, or people in general, when you're depressed, you feel like no one really cares. Why am I even going to bother telling anyone how I feel? Because who cares? If people got their own stuff to deal with, so why am I bother anyone with my issues? And I think that's the way people.
That's an issue too, when you feel like nobody's going to help, and most of the time it is people out there that do want to help. Are you reaching out for the help? It is outlets out there. I actually, I heard about the young lady, about her killing herself. But then when you said you wanted to talk about it, I understood, because we have to tackle mental health, right? I'm an advocate for it. We would never know what people go through behind closed doors. And she must was going through something that it was telling her she's unhappy. She did, every time she said she woke up, she was unhappy. She just kept wanting to do this. The first thing came to my mind, I didn't hear her say anything about her mother, her father, siblings, or anything like that. I was even in a situation, and I want to take it where it's Caribbean, where maybe you can help me. One of my friends was from Jamaica, and her daughter was going through something. And she was like, "Mommy, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself." And she said to her, "Well, hurry up so I can make the funeral arrangements." I said, I was just appalled. Like, you're not going to hug her? You're not going to talk to her? You're not going to pull her to the side? So I noticed that a lot of people from the out wasn't really affectionate to the young people. Like, it was a little bit rough. So I don't know if she was going through something in her life with her family. She also spoke about how life was so hard dealing with paying bills. She was very educated. She was an accountant. You understand what I'm saying? She had a good job. It's just that she was just fighting these demons that she felt like she did. She said half and half, felt like she wanted to be here, and then she didn't want it to be here. So again, if you are going through something, please reach out. It is outlets out there that can be able to help you, because when you do need that help, you expecting people to come to you and help you. It never works like that. Because I done been in a situation where I was having a panic attack and I called everybody. Nobody picked up. Nobody. And I had to really pull it together, and I wound up calling a friend because I remember her saying that she had panic attacks and she wound up picking up for me. You understand what I'm saying? So it happens like that, where when you are down and out, everything you done try reaching out or think people will see you, it's like they don't see you. You understand? So you're going to have to get that help on your own, or you really got to talk to somebody and say, listen, I need help. I need somebody to talk to. I'm feeling these feelings and stuff. Now, the other young man, him passing away, that CTE is serious. He's not the first one, and this young lady too. She's not the only pageant contestant that took their life. She's is another girl that just took her life in 2023. Beautiful girl, and she
Yeah,
wrote a
New York
book.
City. Yeah,
Right.
that's when it jumped out the window, right? Yeah,
Right. You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So it's so many that are going through it. With the CTE, I believe that the men that's playing these football, they need to really be on point with their head. They really need to check. If your head looks like you are at the level where you're about to get the scrambled brains, you need to stop. I'm sorry. All money is not good money. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel bad with that. But other than that, I am telling people, if you feel like you are in crisis or you know someone that's in crisis, you have to say something, because it is serious. Because they can be going like that. You understand? And you try or you try. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's a third leading cause of deaths between young people age 18 to 34 in the Black community is suicide. And also, the suicide rate among Black men is significantly higher than it is for Black women. So Black men are killing themselves more than Black women in our communities.
Yeah. And that's what we need to deal with, is the mental health, because it started from something. They just don't wake up and be like, oh, I want to kill myself. You understand? It happens. Something happened. It could be relationship. It could be love. It could be intimate relationship, your family, your mother, your father, or even just you. I mean, look, we just saw Regina King's son made his transition. You know, he felt like he didn't want to be here no more. So it is on a rise, and we do have to have the conversation about it. Listen, I know at least 4 to 5 people I know that I was cool with that took their lives, and one was 12 years old, and one was like 30 something years old. You know, and you like, wow, you would have never think that it was that bad that they had to take their lives. But people choose their exits, you know, and she chose to exit. She felt like she didn't want to be here no more. She was tired, you know, and it's sad. So I'm telling people, don't get tired, you know, try to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So bottom line is reach out, talk to someone. You,
Yes.
I know it feels like, and I include myself, you feel like no one cares, but uh, people do care. And
Yeah, we do care.
yeah. So we're gonna move on to Serena Williams was at a hotel, and they decorated her hotel with a bouquet, uh, with a cotton bouquet
It
and
was in the hallway. It was in the
a
hallway.
hallway, and she just felt uncomfortable around a cotton display. And some people understood what she was saying, and some people like, "Hey, you got blonde hair and a white husband. Shut up."
I'm sorry.
All right, everyone. How do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great. So actually, it feels like nail polish remover cotton, natural.
Ain't no way y'all out here trying to dog Serena Williams for picking the cotton off the cotton plant in the hotel. The fuck you mean? I would have picked that motherfucker too. Cause what the fuck do you mean? You got a whole fucking cotton plant in the hallway of the hotel I'm staying in. Y'all acting like she did some research. Then people in the comments telling me something, but she got the blonde hair, but she, what she think her clothes made out of, and blah blah this and blah blah that. What the fuck you mean? She has a right to be offended by that shit. And still pick that motherfucker. I would have picked that motherfucker clean bare. And any other of the motherfuckers I would have seen lying in the goddamn hallway. The fuck out of here.
I probably would have did the same thing. Start plucking that shit. I would have took the whole thing, and they would have. I wouldn't have went there anyway. But go ahead. You got any more, Carl, or that's it?
Yeah, no, I got another one.
So Serena Williams walks into a hotel, and she finds a vase like this one right here, right there, accompanied with some good old cotton. And according to Serena, when she saw this said cotton, she felt uncomfortable. Now, I'm no agriculturalist, but I do believe that cotton is not necessarily dangerous, right? That's my understanding. Maybe I just don't know enough about cotton, but that's just sort of my own limited perspective on that one. So I would assume that the reason why she felt uncomfortable would be for another reason. Now, as far as that goes, I would assume it's because cotton is oftentimes associated with a certain time in history when folks were not walking into hotels with the cotton, but instead picking it. And to that I say, dear Sister Serena, cotton existed long before antebellum slavery, and it has existed long after, right? Now, cotton's gotten a bad rap, but most of us engage with it on a daily basis. So, sis, I'm just going to tell you right now, don't worry about the cotton. You will be fine. There's plenty more to worry about than the cotton in the vase. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, in America it was cotton, in Barbados it was sugar cane. So we had the slaves were cutting sugar cane in the Caribbean. Most of the Caribbean was sugar cane. In America, you guys were picking cotton. So, I mean, we see cane every day. You know what I mean? And it doesn't trigger anything, but I guess everyone's different. But
yeah, it's not going to trigger you, but it's going to trigger me. Because I see it, and I don't like it. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not in a 5-star hotel any goddamn way for me to see that shit. You know, the master is letting you know y'all niggas picked cotton. That's what he letting everybody know. But I didn't like it. I'm going to be honest with you. I would have felt the same way she felt. But again, y'all heard what I said. She should have did that comment when she had an afro. She shouldn't have went up there with that blonde hair trying to pick that cotton, because that's not how it looked. You understand? It did not look like that. She should have had a headscarf and everything. But no, I don't like it. I've been to a hotel where it was a picture of the cotton field. And I took a picture behind it. I was like, isn't this something? Look at this. Look at my ancestors. This is their cotton. They done put a picture up in the bedroom of a cotton field. So I'm not surprised that they're doing that. That's run by white people. But you're not going to see black people using cotton as a bouquet of flowers. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay, and I have
That's probably
cotton.
true.
I have a thing of cotton in a jar that I got from Savannah, and it's on my ancestors' altar. You know, and that represent what they had to go through and what they had to pluck and pull and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm not giving it out as gifts. I'm not hanging it on my wall. I'm not sitting it out and wrapping it up. No, I'm not doing none of that.
I'm sorry to hear that, Tiff, because for your Christmas, I was going to give you some cotton Q-tips.
You know what? You can give me some cotton Q-tips. You better not put. They better not be on them stems. It better not be off the tree.
Okay.
I
So
think it's I mean, certain things can trigger certain people. I think she overreacted, and that's my personal opinion. Um, I don't know, Tiff. I think different because I've stayed in 5-star hotels. I've never noticed any cotton plants. You know what's so weird? I probably walk by and not even know it was a cotton plant.
You would
Yes,
notice that thing. First of all, you black, right? That would have
right.
tickled your ancestors' energy, and you would have been like, "Wait a minute, is that cotton I just walked past?"
Well,
Come on, the cat would get.
I drove past a cotton field in Georgia. I was driving through Georgia, and I saw this. This is about a year ago. I'm driving through Georgia, and I saw this cotton field, like rows of cotton for like a mile long. And I was driving and looking over at the cotton field off of Interstate 95, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that cotton field doing there? Like, I get it. So I'm saying it did that triggered me because I was getting flashbacks of my ancestors would have been out there in this hot ass sun picking that cotton. Now they have
Word.
machines to do it now. And I know that cotton field was probably there because I was in Georgia. I was deep in Georgia, outside of Savannah, I believe. I think that cotton field probably was there during slavery, right?
No, it
That's not
was there during
that's not a
slavery.
far fetch, right? Okay, so
No, it
that
was
did
there.
that did trigger me. But people use different plants for different decorations in hotels, and hotels usually have the worst decorations.
Well,
Anyway, I mean, I'm staying in some pretty nice hotels, and they always got crappy decorations and crappy
you never
plants and
saw
stuff
no
like that.
cotton.
I don't know. I probably would have recognized that. I don't know. I've stayed
No,
in some pretty
you would have definitely recognized. Like you just said, I
I've
went
stayed
to
in my
have.
share of fancy hotels. Trust me, I've stayed in a lot of fancy
I
hotels,
know
and I
what you
don't,
was.
and I don't. I wouldn't. I would if I saw the cotton plant. I wouldn't have been triggered like she was. Now I
Well,
was
you
triggered
don't
by
know because you ain't seen it yet.
but I was triggered by the cotton field that I saw as I was driving up 95 through Savannah, I believe it was, or past
Right.
it, and I saw that because I saw the word plantation. I saw the sign saying so and so's plantation coming up in miles, like 10 miles down the road. And then when you get up there, you see this big white mansion that's now a
That's
tourist trap.
the slave master's house.
Yes. And then you see this big white house, huge, and you see all this cotton fields that went for like a mile long or a half mile long. And you understand, what that's all about 200 years ago, right? So yeah, that's different than seeing a damn plant. Now, I don't know. I thought it was just overreactive, but it
No,
triggers people
listen. I
differently.
get it. No, but it's so bug when you had said that when you was riding down, you saw it. When I went down to South, all the years I've been riding down South, I never recognized a cotton field from being a young child, or maybe my family never pointed it out to me or whatever. But I go a few years ago, I think like 2016, I'm riding with one of my artists, saxophone player, hey Mel, and we ride it, and this must was the first bloom of it. And I looked, I said, is those cotton fields? Like all this, I never saw cotton fields. So I know how you felt when you said, is this a cotton field? And we got out. I had to get out
Right.
to just touch it, to go near it. And we did it real fast and then ran back in because we didn't want to get our ass shot. But I had to touch it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what our ancestors had to go through. Those fields is big.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah. And that can trigger you, when you see that type of stuff in person. But a plant, you know,
But it's prickly. All of
decorations.
that is for real. Like you can touch it and feel the prickle. Like they would have to put salve on their hands so they would not get cut. You understand? Doing all that. So that's is real. It's real. So to see it,
Did she
yes,
say the
I'm.
name? Did she call out the name of the hotel? Did she say where she was staying, like the name of the hotel,
No, she
Carl?
didn't say. She couldn't do that. She's
Did
not
she
gonna
say what?
say that.
Did she say what city she was in? Was she in America?
No, she was in America. It was
Okay.
just recently. I think she just did something or
Okay, so
something.
she
So
was in
you would
America.
have
So
to just find out.
okay. So she probably was in a southern state, maybe.
Yeah,
And in the
she was
southern
in a
state,
southern state.
okay. So in the southern state, they probably just use it as decoration. I don't know.
Because
They don't.
cotton is king.
But I don't. They don't. Because they didn't put it there to trigger her. Is what I'm saying, Tip. Because
Oh no, I don't think
in
they
the
put it there to
5-star
trigger
hotel,
her. No.
there's only going to be a few black people staying at that hotel anyway. Most people that stay there are
Right.
white people, right?
Right. And it's a rich. She's rich. The girl
Yeah.
is worth millions. So
So
she's
she's
at
staying in
a
hotels.
five-star hotel owned by the slave masters. And
Yeah.
that's their decorations. Come on, look what they're doing with the plantations now. They got pools, restaurants, they're doing weddings. Why do you think they're not going to use cotton as a damn decoration?
She got enough money to go to a Holiday Inn.
Or she can build her own hotels with Black history in it.
She
Boom.
she could have packed her shit and just went over to the Fairfield Inn across the street and
She should
3-star
do
hotel,
something.
called it the night, and had breakfast in the morning. Free eggs and sausages. That's all I'm saying. So,
All
I
right.
thought she overreacted, but it is what it is.
All right.
Everybody wants to go viral these days, so.
She don't have to go viral. Stop it. She don't have to go viral. She is who she is. She is Serena. She plays the best tennis ever.
She's retired.
Yeah, she's retired, but she still got money. She's still getting endorsements. She's
Oh
still
yeah,
that girl. I'm sorry.
she's getting it in. I ain't mad at her, and I don't think
Listen.
her blonde. I don't think her blonde hair. And I think people are wrong to say, "Oh, you got blonde hair and
No,
white
come
husband, so
on.
you can't be affected by
No,
racism." So that's stupid too.
I'm sorry. She should have did it with an afro. Okay. Or a headscarf or a bonnet. That would have been better.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up, and before we go, obviously, as we always do, Tiffany, is there anything you want to share? How that you learned?
Mental health awareness. People, y'all don't understand how so many people are functioning in dysfunction, where they're normalizing it, even the children. And the only reason why I can say it because I have been in that situation. Where you have a parent or someone you love, loved ones, is going through crisis and it's very hard. So if you need help or assistance, please use it. Don't think that you're the only one out there that's going through it. It's millions of people going through it and fighting their own. Well, as the girl said, fighting yourself. You don't need to fight yourself. God blessed you and gave you this life, this breath of life. So we say to our people that's suffering in silence, stop fighting yourself. Be free. You understand? You can find another way, another outlet, and not choose to unalive yourself. So just know that you are loved. I want to say Asante Shakur, job well done. I know you had your ups and your downs. You couldn't be with your family, your children, like your daughter, like you wanted to, but you made a mark for us, especially with the Black Panthers, along with the other Black Panthers. We salute you. We honor you. And yes, girl, they was mad because you escaped from jail and you was not letting them give you 30 plus years for something you ain't do. Okay? I'm sorry, I had to, the HBCU school students, do not fall for these MAGA tricks, okay? Please be on point. Do not touch none of these because they want y'all to do that. They want you to attack them because they're trying to do a viral moment. Come up with something that y'all can be able to defeat them mentally. Okay? Let them know you know your history, you know your background. And that's why y'all in college to be better people and be able to help your future. So we definitely want to send love to them, to our HSBC students, and say, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing out there in school. And again, make sure you like and subscribe. We do not own the rights or the content, the music, or anything that's on here. We don't own it. Everything's alleged. It's just our opinion, and our it's for educational entertainment purposes. Thank you.
All right, Kevin, any last words?
Yes. Fuck that. Bust their ass when they come on the campus.
You can't do that, Kevin.
We're not our ancestors. Fuck that. We're not our ancestors.
No, but we
You
couldn't
know
be
what?
our
They come on the campus, you make an example of them, and then the other guys will know not to go to another campus. Bust their ass. Then the other MAGA guys, the red hats, will go like, y'all want to go over to Howard? Nah, we good. Y'all want to go down to nah, we good. You see what happened to our boys when they went over to Tennessee? We can't, I'm serious. You have to let them know we're not playing games with them anymore. Dr. King preached nonviolence for a reason. He had his philosophy that if we fought back, we would lose because we're outnumbered, but we're not anymore. We're stronger now. We're different. He asked people, when you see people throwing bottles and hitting them and they weren't fighting back, that was by design. That black people didn't swing back in the 60s. You see those videos, you never see black people fighting back,
I would
swinging
have
back.
lost it.
It was by design that they didn't do that. He wanted it to be nonviolent protests. I'm not saying, I'm just like right now, Malcolm X and maybe the Black Panthers ideology is what we need to have for this, this day and age. I don't think the nonviolent approach is going to work in 2025, 2026, 2027, because we're dealing with a more advanced people, more advanced, more educated, and more evil group of people now, Tiff and Carl. And I think that you got to fight fire with fire. That's what we say about the Democrats all the time. Y'all too damn soft. Y'all acting like what, and Republicans have no card. They don't care. They don't care about nothing but winning. Y'all still playing by the book.
I never thought they were doing anything.
Y'all still playing by the book and being soft. And you can't beat these guys being soft. So yeah, and that goes for the MAGA and all these racist groups and stuff like that. Look, back in the day, I mean, even back in the 80s, when the KKK would try to march through certain places, they tried to come to DC. We're like, what? Nah, y'all ain't coming up here with that bullshit. Because DC was Chocolate City back then.
Right.
Y'all wouldn't come up here. I remember when watching the news as a teenager. Y'all ain't having no Klan rally here. And forget about it. So that's the energy we need to have still today, even more. We have more people, more knowledge. We're more powerful than we were in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? We're more powerful than we were in the 60s. So we cannot, I think the young students aren't going to have it anyway. These young people are different, Carl and Tiff. They're different. They're not having it. So these guys keep going on these college campuses, they're going to get their ass whipped, with their MAGA hats on.
As they should.
Yeah, as they should. That's all I got to say, man. So I don't think they should take the high road. Forget the high road. I'm sick of the high road.
You just think they should just whoop ass?
I think, yeah.
But what about their school? You don't want them to get in trouble because they don't whoop somebody's ass.
They're not going to get in trouble, The same way, remember that incident on the boats? On the boats a few years ago? Was that a few years ago now? What they happened with the boat? Was that Texas? What happened?
You talk about the Alabama brawl.
Oh, the Alabama brawl. Yeah, that's my point.
That was amazing. Well, they was beating up the guy. So once they beat up the guy, everybody started busting out in powers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. That's the energy. That's the only energy we have to have right now. Unfortunately, I don't think turning out a cheek and trying to take the, Michelle Obama, approach when they go low, we go high. Nah, Fuck that.
You over it, huh, Kev?
I'm over it because we shouldn't have to be dealing with this crap in 2025. You know, nobody going to nobody's college campuses. You don't see no black people going to University of Utah. You know,
Okay, they will recognize us immediately.
harassing the students there. You know, like you don't see it. Like we hear all this crap about
We know
black
our
people are
place.
violent. Black people, Chicago and DC and in Tennessee, violent black people. You don't see no black people going to no campuses harassing white people.
No.
Ever in the history of our country.
No.
Like when did black people go to Harvard and go, hey, we're gonna go up here to Harvard and F up all these students? Yeah, and protest at Harvard. Like, no, we didn't. You know, so we shouldn't allow it. We shouldn't allow it. We shouldn't tolerate it. We should nip it in the bud and let them know y'all can't do this. This ain't happening. It ain't happening. That's it.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up, and of course, I want to go out with something light and fun. Of course, I love to see kids dancing, and I saw this little sister getting down with some stepping. I was very impressed and made me smile, so I'm gonna show it, and then we're gonna go out with our theme song. Kevin, love you. Tiffany, I love you. Thank you to everyone. Amelie, Patricia, Bridget, Donna, everyone who's commented, who's watching us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, my sister working. I love
Glendine, Nicole Coates, thank you. Of course, I can't get everyone, but I try to remember all the people who commented. So here's the little sister dancing. And I saw some comments on this, and some people thought she was too adult.
Wait a minute. What you
But I don't think she's a. It's just
How old is she? Let's see it.
She could be 4 or 5, but it's very cute. If I thought it was adult, I wouldn't show it. But
well, kids mimic what they see, right? So let's do it.
All right, here you go.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, first of all, that's Miss Shirley. She's from Boots on the Ground. Okay. She is a cute little thing, but a lot of people are complaining about Miss Shirley. They said Miss Shirley should be taking a nap and drinking some juicy because Miss Shirley be out in them streets. You see her entertaining in stadiums. Miss Shirley be doing her thing, But yeah, that's Miss Shirley.
I love it. And everybody keep forgetting Michael Jackson was dancing when he was 6 years old, 7. So shut the hell up. What about y'all own damn kids?
When you put it up, I was like, that's Miss Shirley. She got an old name too. Look, she got an old soul name, Miss Shirley.
I love it. Hey, she could be doing something worse, right? She's how old is that kid? 4, 5, 6?
She's about 4 or 5, Miss Shirley.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You can see her on Boots on the Ground. You can she's on Boots on the Ground. She's one of the main person.
Okay, yeah, that was awesome. I don't know what the hell people was bitching, man. That was awesome. Thanks for showing that, Carl.
Hey, no problem. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Same time, 7 p.m.
Love you, Mommy.
Standard time.
Love you, Mom, sister, brother, everybody watching.
Everybody, we love our family. Love your family, okay?
Stepdad, Kelvin. What's up, Kelvin? Everybody watching. All right.
Tell him you say that and tell him you love him. Don't just they can't read your mind, as I always say. Yeah. All right, we're out.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. In space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We'll be giving you empathy, we're gonna challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show.